All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call our business meeting to order, March 9th, 2022. Notice of this meeting has been duly advertised in compliance with the provision of the Open Public Meeting Law. Please be advised that this meeting is being audio recorded for possible later playback. Everyone, please rise to the flag salute. Can I have one of the boys start the flag salute, please? United States of America.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to take a moment of silence for a few things this evening. We'd like to take a moment of silence for our police officer, Mark Singleton's family, who lost his father and his stepmother tragically. Mayor Wright of Winslow Township and his family, the passing of Mayor Wright, and also a moment of silence for the people of Ukraine.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please. Here.
Councilwoman Hunt. Here. Councilman Lankowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hunt.
Here.
Councilwoman Simmons. Here. President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Mayor.
Here. Resolution 2022-82, proclamation for Lindenwold Chargers. Whereas Mayor and Council of the Borough of Lindenwold wish to recognize the accomplishments of the Lindenwold Chargers Youth Football Organization, whereas several teams qualified for the GCMFL American Conference Championship, and whereas the following teams should be recognized for winning the GCMFL American Championship, and whereas the Lindenwold would like to congratulate the freshman team ages 6 through 7 with head coach Lee Smalls on the victory with their record of 10 wins and 2 losses. And
Lee!
And whereas Lindenwold would like to congratulate the sophomore team, ages 8 and 9, on the head coach, Lee Henderson, on their victory with a record of 12 wins and 0 losses. And whereas Lindenwold would like to congratulate the junior team, 10 and 11, with head coach Amir Drennan. I'm sorry.
Drennan, thanks.
And Lindenwold would also like to recognize the junior varsity classes, ages 10 and 11, under head coach
Big Dahlia.
There you go, coach.
Undefeated.
Now therefore be resolved, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Lindenwold proclaim March 9th, 2022 in honor of the athletes and their coaches for their victories during the 2021 football season, and therefore be it further resolved that Mayor and Council of the Borough of Lindenwold wish the Lindenwold Chargers Youth Football Organization a continued success in the future. Thank you.
So we're going to come down and present the plaque, but before we do that, on 3, 1, 2, 3, Lindenwold Chargers. 1, 2, 3.
that from my
We're
coach.
gonna take a short 5-minute recess if you guys want to take pictures real quick.
Yes, sir. She's not asking this, right? Now,
All the juniors, stand up right here, sophomores, and then freshmen. You want to take a picture? Juniors, in the back, facing this way. All the coaches, come on.
Can y'all get on y'all knees? Bend down, there's some more people behind y'all want to take pictures. No, thank you, babe. Lamar. Jojo. Put your hand on.
Everybody move in.
who's he? On three, say, you know why we here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, I know why I'm here. Oh, that's right. No, don't say that, Joe. Joe, don't say that. Don't say that, Joe. Man, that would be a lot of hearing.
On 3 charges. 1, 2, 3.
Sure, when you got all the technology,
Councilman Lankowski? Yes. Councilwoman Klein? Councilwoman Simmons? President Randolph?
Yes.
Following reports have been filed and are available in the respective offices for review. We include in the minutes, tax collector's report, sewer report, and treasurer's report. The second reading, ordinance 2022-03, amending chapter 46 of Police Department, section 46-5. At this time, I'd like to open the meeting to the public for any questions or comments regarding ordinance 2022-3. Seeing none, close the meeting to the public and entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion on second reading, 2022-3, be adopted on second reading and published according to law.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Domenico? Yes. Councilwoman House? Yes. Councilman Lankowski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Klein?
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons? Yes. President Randolph?
Yes.
First reading ordinance, I'm sorry. It's the second reading, isn't it? Second reading ordinance 2022-4, repeal chapter 145, article 1, environmental commission. Open to the public for any questions and comments regarding ordinance 2022-4, repeal 145. Do you want?
Yes.
Mike? Go ahead.
Okay.
I was wondering if you got a chance to read the proposal sent to you by Trevor Shaw and myself about the continuation. Most environmental commissions in the state of New Jersey operate without a paid secretary, without a engineer on staff that is retained, and without a lawyer. I believe that it is a issue of cost cutting. So we offered a suggestion about how to get around it without a budget. If that's an issue, as most environmental commissions are not working with a budget, according to the NAJDC, this is a way to do it. Have you considered this?
We are at this time, or we're considering doing all of the events that you guys did in the past and continuing. If you choose to have a club or an organization that you choose to do on your own, that is fine with us, just you can't use Borough Lindenwold's name.
So you're going to use tax money, what you're going to try to do without an environmental commission. So you're just wanting to do it without citizen involvement, is what you're saying?
No.
But you're just saying that you're still going to do the things.
We're going to put it out there to the public that we're going to be planting a tree. If you'd like to come out and participate, you're more than welcome to come out and participate. The borough is doing it as the borough. We're not doing it as an environmental commission or any of those type of things.
So why
if you want to go out and have cleanups and stuff like that, you can petition Public Works to ask for bags and gloves and things like that and have them pick it up and do things like that. You can do those things on your own.
So why are other towns and boroughs able to have environmental commissions, but we are not?
We choose after all the years of it not accomplishing anything.
Excuse me, Ms. Patton, we had a meeting. Can you discuss what we talked about and what the accomplishments were that were discussed?
I will have, honestly, unless I will have to look at that.
I couldn't read the notes. That you sent me.
Yes. Just so I can be clear, I don't want to give any misinformation.
I can read back those notes that she sent me.
So we weren't part of your meeting.
The notes were forwarded to you, I believe.
And we all had the chance to read it. Thank you.
I believe you forwarded them
Yes,
to the council?
they all received the copy.
Is there anything else?
I believe you are doing a great disservice to this town, the environment, the Democratic platform, that you all are Democrats, I believe, right?
I don't, in our politics do not matter to me when I'm in this building. I'm a councilwoman for the people. So my politics don't have anything to do with this meeting. Thank you.
And you're doing the service.
No, I'm just letting you know, my politics have nothing to do with this meeting.
Okay.
Thank
So, food initiatives. The 3,000 people that you could be doing, putting food in their mouths by doing garden initiatives, you're not going to help them with food initiatives.
Hey, Les.
What?
I belong to the Environmental Commission for 15 years.
Yep.
Okay? As a resident, never involved with the borough as a councilman on that commission. 15 years ago, we did Laurel Lake, Overbrook Lake, which a lot of people probably don't even know what Overbrook Lake is. We did cleanups.
Yep.
The people who sat on that council and the people who lived on the lake were the only ones there.
Yep.
5 years in a row we did. The dam broke. All of a sudden, Laurel Springs told the Lindenwold Commission, it's yours. Didn't chip in to help us pay for it or anything. Didn't even help us clean the lake. And they have houses along the lake.
When was that?
For 6 weekends, I rode around town with the board members doing a tree inventory. Okay? Like I said, 15 years, I could count on one hand and eliminate 3 fingers how many times people came to the meetings.
What year was that tree inventory done?
The tree inventory
That you were around.
2008, I believe.
2008?
Yeah.
2008, there was already GIS tracking by trees. You could do it.
We didn't
by-
have it then. all right?
Yes, you could.
We didn't
And you
have
could
it.
have paid the money to do it.
Right.
Now also, you tried to get volunteers, we had 80 volunteers. If you couldn't get people.
You paid them.
We paid them?
You paid the kids to come out. Now,
We paid volunteers.
yes, you did.
I will talk to
And
Paul Marty.
you also had kids, little kids on Laurel Road cleaning up
I've never run.
stuff. And you had
I've
them
never
on
run.
Shoes Landing Road.
I have
walking
never
down
run a cleanup on Laurel Road. I've done cleanups in Laurel Landing that you actually put on the budget for boat ramp. But
Yes,
I've
you
never paid anybody to do a cleanup.
All right, this isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, because you don't get anything done in this town.
Excuse me?
You don't get anything done in this town.
Have you looked at all the sidewalks that have been put in this town? Have you looked at Lindenwold Park that's been put in this town? Have you looked at the United States Avenue Bridge that's been put in this town? Have you looked at all the streetscape on Berlin Road? Have you looked at the traffic signals on Egg Harbor Road?
And how much is that
Have
county
you looked at the
subsidized?
cameras in the community?
And how much is that?
Nothing?
And how much is that from the county?
How much is for what?
From the county.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Not a penny. And it didn't cost the Borough of Lindenwold residents 1 penny.
How much
And
is
the
that
county
from
tax
tax
the
money?
highest tax you pay. And they gave us
I'm
nothing.
sorry. I apologize to the rest of the.
You should apologize. It's disgraceful.
And you should be apologized too for not being at any of the meetings.
Okay, Rich.
Not being at any of the meetings?
Let's move on.
Not being at any of the meetings? What meetings did I miss?
I'm just tired of people belittling us and making us feel like.
I paid people to come and clean up? Adessa, did I pay your child? She was there. Did I pay your child?
Is this an interview? I mean, what's going on?
No,
here?
I was accused of it. Did I pay your child?
All right, anyone else?
Adessa, please. You were my parent. No, you did.
For the environmental commission, you specifically told me that wasn't for the environmental commission.
No, I said I couldn't get them to, did I pay your child to come to that meeting? To come to that cleanup?
All right.
Ben, I appreciate you don't do that, to bring my child to any.
No, you don't have the guts to say I didn't pay your child. And somebody else, you were there, did I pay kids?
Now let's go.
Trevor, did I pay kids to be there?
Let's go, Rich.
All right.
Joke.
Entertain a motion, please.
I make a motion on second reading, ordinance.
Ray, you were there.
2022-04.
Ian, you were there.
And a second, please.
Ian, you were there, did I pay anybody?
I wasn't at any environmental.
You were
meetings.
there.
I was not at any environmental meetings, Les. I was not at
Not
any
a meeting,
meetings.
but a cleanup.
Right.
Yes.
Councilman D'Amento.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lankowski.
No.
Councilwoman Patton.
No.
Councilwoman Smith. President Bellshaw.
Yes.
Motion carries. First reading, ordinance 2022-05, ordinance to amend chapter 199, article 3, licensing procedures of the Borough of Lindenwold mercantile licenses. Entertain a motion, please.
I got a motion for ordinance 2022-05 to be read on first reading, to be adopted as read, published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall, with the second reading being held at our next regularly scheduled meeting.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman D'Amento.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lankowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons. Yes. President Bellshaw.
Yes.
First reading, ordinance 2022-06, amend chapter 150 fee schedule. Entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion for ordinance 2022-06 to be read on first reading, be adopted as read, published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall, with the second reading being held at our next regularly scheduled meeting.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman D'Amento.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lankowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton. Yes. Councilwoman Simmons. Yes. President Bellshaw.
Yes.
Consent agenda. The items listed below are considered routine by the Borough of Lindenwold and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no formal discussions of these items, and if discussion is desired, this motion will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Entertain a motion for resolution 2022-83 through 89.
Make a motion for consent agenda items, resolution items 2022, 83 through 89.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DeDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lankowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton. Yes. Councilwoman Simmons. Yes. President Belshar.
Yes.
Resolution 2022-90, Councilor.
Authorizing Remington and Burnett to conduct a traffic signal warrant analysis at the intersection of White Horse Pike and US Avenue.
And a second, please.
So moved. No, first.
Make a motion.
So moved.
And a second. Roll call, please.
Councilman DeDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lankowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons. Yes. President Belshar.
Yes.
Engineers report.
Thank you, Mayor.
I was going to say, I know, I saw you someplace.
Thank you, Mayor. Survey, field work and base mapping has been completed on Cooper Avenue. Pavement floors were just done yesterday. And the 2022 CDBG application was submitted on February 23rd in advance of the March 4th day.
Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions? This time, I'll open the meeting to council. Start with Councilman DeDomenico.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Lindenwold Police Department activity report for the month of February 2022. Total calls of service 2102. Traffic accidents 35. Community policing 259. Traffic enforcement stops 175. Criminal complaints issued by officers 39. Traffic summonses issued by officers 49. Criminal complaints issued by citizens 10. Traffic summonses issued by citizens 2. And there's 65 active investigations right now. I'd also like to congratulate the board members for the Lindenwold Fire Department on their election this past month. That's all I have.
Councilman Hess.
Thank you, Mayor. I have monthly report for Lindenwold Public Works. Tons of trash collected, 635.64. Tons of recycling, 71.76. Bulk items collected, 158. Scrap metal picked up, 30. No concrete, no stumps, 1 property maintenance. Service calls, 93. Stoppages, 30. Main stoppages, 1. Emergency calls, 20. Markouts, 50. Pump station repairs, 10. Trouble areas jetted, 2. In Laurel Springs, 2 service calls, 2 stoppages, 2 emergency calls. And that's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman.
Okay, I have a couple of things here. First one is our newsletter. We'll probably be going out around May or June. That'll be our spring, summer newsletter. We are still working on the welcome packets and the tab for our packets. We'll be having a meeting on Friday to go over some information. I have a report from the Code Enforcement Office. There's 75 CO inspections, 23 smoke inspections, 147 violations found, 142 violations written, 76 abatements, 36 tickets written, 6 tickets to court, 4 tickets that were settled on Zoom court, 2 yearly rental registration inspections, 185 yearly rental registration re-inspections, 6 vehicles tagged and removed, 0 illegal clothing bins tagged, 0 tractor trailers tagged, 2 sites found working, done without permits, 0 business found open without a permit, 0 business open, no approval, 1 dumpster on the street, no approval, and 26 street opening inspections for the department. Also, we will be hosting an event later on, a couple of months from now, on a business connection event. It will be meant to join our business owners and the town. So it'll be a networking event and an informative event, more information to follow on that. I also would like to recognize that March is Women's History Month. There are a lot of things that are celebrated each month. I just picked one thing, so please don't be offended, oh, I didn't mention this. I mean, it's really too many to mention. So I have picked Women's History Month as the one that I would like to highlight. Yesterday was Women's International Day, which first was celebrated in 1911. Women's History Month was first recognized by President Jimmy Carter in 1980. It was recognized for a week. Later on, it was expanded and ratified in 1988 to reflect the month. If you have any spare time, I would recommend you making a trip over to the Constitution Law Museum on Arch Street at Independence Mall. There's a great exhibit going on now on the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th Amendment. And the 19th Amendment covers the women's right to vote. So I would just like to point out a couple of phenomenal women in my book. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Ida B. Wells, Susan B. Anthony, Maya Angelou, Shirley Chisholm, Mae Jameson, Anne Frank, Harriet Tubman, Kamala Harris, Sonia Sotomayor, Amelia Earhart, and Janine Rankin. And I would also like to insert my mother, Dolores Randolph, because she was a phenomenal woman. So, and you can take the time to insert any phenomenal woman in your life, your mother, your sister, your grandmother, whomever that woman is. But please take the time to recognize the contributions that women have made to this country.
Yes, Mayor. Also on the school calendar, we have a what to look for in internet safety as Tuesday the 15th from 7 to 9. The Lindenwold Police Department will be aiding that. And please don't forget to go out and watch our children in the school play. It's at Lindenwold High School, and it's March 31st and April 1st. And I think there's one on Saturday, so you have to check the calendar for that.
Usually get two.
Yeah, 1 and 2, yeah. But everybody, the kids are really great. They put in a great play, and I've seen them in action. So please come out and support our children. All right, thank you.
Councilwoman.
Thank you, Mayor. Our library continues to be a busy hub for our town. Especially right now during tax season, I just want to remind you that you can pick up tax forms in the Borough Library for 2022. This month, there is also St. Patrick's Day craft for the children. This week, I believe after next week, if you want to pick that up. And finally, for public events, tomorrow at 7 o'clock, we will be having our first public events committee meeting at 7 o'clock here in Borough Hall. If you complete an application, you should receive an email inviting you to the meeting. I just wanted to let you all know that if you're going to be a day of participant on any borough property while we're having events, as in 2022, background checks will be required. This is to eliminate any type of child abuse registry, index, negative law, etc. So just to keep you guys informed of that. Thank you.
And Councilwoman, I just want to say that it's not as of 2022. The background checks have gone since the state governor passed the law for Megan's Law, which was probably 20-some-odd years ago. So, yeah, it's been quite a while.
It's been more enforced lately because of the insurance things and regard to, I'm sorry,
It's a requirement of our JIP. To maintain our insurance, we have to have background checks against all with all people who have any contact at all with children for any of our sponsored events.
And there's a 20-minute video that you have to come and watch too. All right, Councilwoman Simmons.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For senior citizens, Camden County Senior Citizens is offering some programs through Zoom. They're starting their caregiver support group. I applied for that. It has dates for the entire year, registration, and everything you'll need to know. It's a great group because, as we all know, caregiving for somebody takes a lot out of you, and sometimes it's good to hear other people's view on how they're helping their loved ones, and you might get some hints, and you can talk your frustration, because it does get frustrating. So if you can join that, that would be good. Also, bingo sizing. Again, I have a flyer. Then they are doing bingo sizing. It's a health promotion program that combines the game of bingo with fall prevention exercises, which can be done seating or standing. The program is going to be every Tuesday and Friday, starting March 15th, and it will be a morning and an afternoon session. And again, I do have flyers if anybody wants one. Health department. Everyone with a loving pet at home, it's time to register your pet at the borough. You have till the end of the month. The application's online. It's $15 if your pet is neutered, $20 if they are not neutered, and you'll need to bring in a rabies certificate showing that your animal is rabies-free. COVID update. Okay, the CDC on their website, they have, when you go to their homepage, it says, check your county, and all you have to do is put in the state of New Jersey, Camden County, you click on it, and it'll tell you if you're medium, high, low, where you stand. As of this afternoon, Camden County is in a medium, so we're doing good. Numbers are coming down. Just a reminder, because we have a lot of new faces here, there's an app that New Jersey has that will hold your vaccination card. You can use this to show proof of vaccination. You can download it from the Apple Store or Google Play. It's called Docket. It's very easy to do. If you also have it already, you can update it to your second shot, your booster shot. There's 11 you can download in there. So hopefully they keep saying they want to put more and more vaccine stuff on there so you have all your medical records with you. But right now you do have your COVID shots on it. So here comes some good news, and we are changing. After 2 years of this pandemic, I know everyone in this room probably thought we would never be living through a pandemic. But we are, and we are finally getting near the end. This past Monday, March 7th, Governor Murphy signed executive order lifting the COVID-19 public health emergency. He announced that the conditions are improving, cases have dropped, testing is available, and it's rapid. So it makes sense to relax on some of our restrictions. Last Friday, he announced that he was going to do his last update in person. But he will continue updating everybody about COVID, how it is in the state, and where we stand, all on social media, and also through the state's COVID health hub. The Omicron variant has receded, hospitalization is lower, vaccinations are coming up, and still climbing. And finally, in New Jersey, the mask mandate is no longer required in most outdoor and indoor settings. Face masks, social distancing, and other measures are still required at high areas such as healthcare settings, public transportation, correction facilities, and homeless shelters. So we are moving in the right direction. This is great. Let's keep moving. And soon you might not hear me talking about COVID every meeting. So thanks for hearing. What? You publicly acknowledge that I've been doing a good job of this. I know I've been talking a lot for the last 2 years, but I am trying my best to give everybody the most up-to-date information. I appreciate all of but before your son talk about COVID, because it's still here, but we are getting closer and closer to it the end of it, hopefully. We're living with it, we're learning to live with it, is probably where we're really going to do. And that's all I have.
And it's also, it's based on the businesses. Businesses can still require you to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilwoman Senator. This is a great segue for me. Everyone knows that the governor has lifted his executive order for the public health emergency. And effective Monday, March the 14th, masks will be optional for all of our municipal facilities. I mean, we still encourage it, but of course it's optional. So I just wanted to make that announcement.
Thank you. We were going to eliminate it tonight, but with all the boys here and all the football and all that stuff, we decided against it. We're going to do it Monday. All right, I see a lot of new faces here, so I'm going to explain how the public session works. When we open to the public, you come up, you state your name and address of the record, and you say what you have to say. Council will not answer your questions until we open again to council. They will answer that at that time if they choose to do so. We will not come back for replies afterwards. It will be adjourned after that. So if you have anything you'd like to say, I'm going to open to the meeting to the public. For questions or comments, please raise your hand and I will recognize you. Ms. Materi.
Diane Terry, 637 Fifth Avenue. Mayor, I ask you this every time I come here because you keep telling me that I'm not community friendly. When I do animal rescue, I do homeless outreach, I work with the veterans, I work with addicts, I place people in homes. You keep saying I'm not community friendly. But I still can't get an answer from you of what you mean by that. Like, what does that mean? Because you have an employee who's rude to all the residents year after year, person to person, but that's okay. You have counsel who threatens. You have counsel who's not even here, who used to try to intimidate. But is that what you mean by community friendly? I don't understand it, what you mean by it. Why am I not community friendly? Because I tell you stuff that goes on and you don't want to hear it? Is that what it is? I don't understand. I just don't get it. I've been asking it for months and she told me I'm not community friendly. I don't know how much more I can do to make myself, for you to think that I am. What do I have to do? Do I have to like intimidate people? Do I have to threaten? Oh, that looked like she was scared to death. Ask her a question. She was staring at you. Are they not allowed to talk? Is that your idea of community friendly? Is what I want to know.
Thank you very much. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak?
Hi, I'm Pamela Cole from 5 Glen Alpine Court. You actually left a message for me on my phone today. I appreciate it. So I had a petition for you and I had it signed, but I brought an empty folder, so I can drop that off to you with signatures. So I'm from Crossings Way, and there are several members of Crossings Way here. I don't know if they're all going to talk, but I don't want to talk for everybody, so I'll speak for myself. Last week we had signs go up in our median. We live in cul-de-sacs. And I know you're aware because I've emailed you the situation. Would you like me to go into it, or so everybody's aware? Okay. So we have cul-de-sacs, and in cul-de-sacs we don't have street parking. So the developers put up islands in all cul-de-sacs, not just our development, but all cul-de-sacs have islands provided so you have additional parking. Because you only have a single driveway and obviously you have multiple cars. So 7:30 in the morning, signs went up and they say no parking allowed all of a sudden. We weren't given any warning, we weren't given anything. We never are in our development, just poof, this happens and you have no say. So when we tried calling, we all have called multiple times. Nobody has called us back. We've left messages, we've emailed. We're never given the courtesy of an answer or a reply. We've emailed, I emailed you so many times till finally I left a message with Nadine, which today, 5 days later, you did give me courtesy of a phone call. We got a message, we got a notice that came around, not on letterhead. It was ill-written, there was no punctuation. It was written, unfortunately, like a third grader. But it says that trash trucks can't get around. So the development's been there for 32 years. And I know there's new trash trucks, but the new trash trucks have been there for 3 years now. That says they can't get around to pick up trash. So they're taking out medians. So the problem with that is that the trash only comes around on Wednesday mornings. So why couldn't we compromise and we just don't park there on Wednesday mornings? So they're taking away that parking. And again, the problem with that is there's nowhere for us to park. So Crossings is already overcrowded. There's nowhere for the cars to go. If we put those 10 cars on our side and on the other side into Crossings, it's already overcrowded. The person whom I did speak to said to me that they were contemplating making it a one-sided parking anyway after they take the medians out. And he also said that to 2 other neighbors who has called, and so did Hans, who lives on Spring Garden Street, and he's in charge of something else in the public works. So, so we were asking for a compromise. And then the notice came around and said that is a public hindrance for emergency vehicles, fire trucks, ambulance, and police to quickly and effectively get back to us to carry out our duties. And it's putting us in danger. So that's a legal issue. So the fire marshal had to approve for the islands to go back in there for 32 years. I've lived there 28 years. So if those islands have put me in danger for 28 years that the fire marshal had to approve for them to go in there, I have a problem that I've lived there in danger with those islands being in there, and the fire and the police and the ambulance let that go on for 28 years, and all of a sudden now in 2022, now it's an issue. So I can't get an honest reason why all of a sudden these islands are a problem, that now they are going to be taken out. So that's part of the problem, but the other problem is where are we going to park? Why do these islands have to be taken out? And why can't we come to a compromise? So, that's what I would like to be resolved.
Before we go any further, are all of you here for the parking?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when we get to open the council again, I can pretty much resolve this issue for you, so.
Okay.
If there's anybody else from the public that has something else they want to bring up, please come to the microphone and state your name and address. It's all it's not for the parking issue. I'm hoping, and I will allow after it's over for anybody who wants to rebut anything I have to say afterwards, okay?
Okay.
What's your name?
Pamela.
Pamela, can we just see the letter for one moment?
This time?
Yeah, we'll give it right back. Forgive me, I have some
Do you
struggle
have
on
the
that.
letter that
That's
I
okay.
got? Because I left it in the empty, I don't know if you want to see that.
Yeah, we just want to look at it. We just want to keep it there. Yeah, we just want to see
This
it.
is the letter from the Public Works that came around.
Thank you.
And it only came around to the people in the cul-de-sac. It didn't go around in the whole neighborhood.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
And 2 days after the sign went up.
Oh, and 2 days after, that was after like 12 of us called. They never returned our call. They just sent this around. Did I cover everything?
Pretty much, thank you.
Is that what you were asking?
Oh, no, that was for the meeting. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming, by the way. Thank you.
I live in the crossings also, but I live on the other side, 117. And my issues are, there's a sign on Spring Garden at the end that says, it's stop here to the back. They park all the way to in the morning, at school time, and in the afternoon when kids are coming home. That whole line, which was said when they put that bus ability to go around there, it wouldn't be all these cars. These cars are lined up all the way. You had to put cones so they wouldn't park where the bus goes in. And it hasn't been resolved. It's dangerous, actually, because you have to come out to see around the corner. You know, there's no regard for the sign. They have balls enough to park at the corner. And the sign's back there. And I've called about it. Nothing.
And then there's all the trash there too. There's all the trash there too.
The other thing is, on the side that I live on, 117, it's like a speedway, where it goes down and makes the turn. They just fly down there. Can't you put a sign like slow or, I don't know, something that says slow down? Right where that turn is. And the last thing is where Spring Garden and Crossings meet. There's like a patchwork of road. And it keeps getting holes and they keep going back and patching it. Like, can't you just have a complete fix? Because that's a waste of manpower and money. You just keep coming back, patch a hole, come back again, patch a hole, fix it.
Yep.
That's it for me.
Anyone else for the
Excuse me too. Thank you for reminding me. That was another thing. If you take those islands out, that's just going to be another waste of taxpayers' money because they're going to have to be removed. And then they're just going to have to be fixed and then refixed and then refixed because they're going to have to be refilled. And once you refill them, that's going to open a can of worms that constantly have to be refilled, and refilled, and it's just going to be a never-ending cycle of complete waste. And I wanted to thank you, by the way. I didn't thank you for letting me speak.
Anyone else on any other issues? Seeing none, close the meeting to the public, and entertain a motion to open.
You saw me waiting there, you can't say you didn't. Trevor Shaw, 805 Norcross. First, I want to thank you guys, particularly Sandy and President Randall Sharp, for their thoughtful replies regarding air tags and the thorough information, so we appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. And then I also wanted to clear up, I guess there's been some miscommunication, or at least a misconstrue of the information surrounding our cleanup and what we do. We've been holding cleanup for the last 6 years. We hold at least 2 a year. They have all been volunteer with the exception of this last year. This last year, the business community in large came to us and said, we don't understand why the Borough of Lindenwold doesn't host cleanup events on their own. Most towns do. Most towns block roads. The police come out and help close the roads down for 2 hours and clean it up. This town doesn't do that, but we as the business community would like to support what you're doing. What can we do? We don't pay kids. The business community has agreed to donate money to the kids' organizations if they come out and help. So they're paying for these football kids' uniforms. They're paying for band kids' music instruments. They're paying for the National Honor Society enrollment fees. We think that's a good thing. It's a win-win, right? The town gets cleaned up, they get reduced fees for their athletic uniforms, and anything else they want to do as an organized activity. So to now have you twist that around and turn it back to us and say we're doing something wrong, we're putting little kids in dangerous way, we've asked for police support for our cleanup events. We welcome it.
Fire department.
First. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Thank you.
I have one thing to add. I'm kind of very excited at 140 Crossing the Way. Something that I also would like to propose is a traffic light. Black Clemson Road and Spring Garden. There's been accidents after accidents. We can't even get in and out of our development because of the traffic light. You added lanes to open up Black Clemson Road. But we need a traffic light. I've been in there for 20 years, and I know that neighbors like me have been concerned about the traffic. Now, yes, Clemson Park is not as, they don't have as much business as usual, but it's still a lot of traffic there. It's dangerous to everyone, in a car or out. So we need to, can we use some tax money for that?
Anyone else in the public wishing to speak?
My name is Rosa Martinez. I live in 160 Crossing Way. Just to add to the young ladies, what they were saying, sorry, ladies. I have a proposal. I don't live in that circle where they want to take the pillars off. So I can only feel for them. My proposal is, during Wednesdays when it's trash day, why not put up a sign that says no parking between 8 and 3? So that the garbage truck can come in and pick up the trash. Or no parking when there's snow out, or something like that. Why make it so harsh when you're going to take the pillars out, and those poor people that live there, they can't park? Now, if you also take the one side of the street and say no parking on this side, then those people that live on that side are going to park on the opposite side. So then what happens when we get our mail? Where's the mailman going to drop off the mail if we have to leave the mailboxes open? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? All right, thank you. Close the meeting to the public and open up to council. Motion to open up to council.
So moved.
Any seconds? All in favor? Aye. All right. I'm going to try to address this as best as I can. Public Works, and you do know we have new trash trucks. They are twice the size of the old trucks. The new fire trucks that they're bringing into town now are also twice the size. They will not be able to make those turns, they will not be able to get in there and get close. What we've decided to do, and I apologize for the sign, because when I found out the signs went out, that's why you got that letter 2 days later, because I said, wait a second, you can't just put this up and not notify the people. So I had Public Works write it, and then I had somebody review it, and it should have been a, was that one letter? It went out on letterhead, and it should have been official the way no one's supposed to, and I apologize for that. But if they remove these islands, your first cul-de-sac that you come to when you pull into your apartment complex, don't park parallel parking. I can't tell you how to park, but you're going to have more parking with those islands out if you do it the way they do it in the first parking spot.
Excuse me, so we don't have the space that they have.
You're going to be surprised at the size of the one.
And their houses, they're not.
The problem you're having, let me finish, but the problem you're having now is that you have cars parked there that have been sitting there for a while. You can tell because the grass has grown up around the tires, underneath the rims and all this other stuff. Public Works can't get in there to clean the islands, because when they weed whack the islands, it hits the cars, and they get complaints about their cars getting finished. Well, and I understand you say, we'll move them on days that the trash comes around, we'll move the cars on, that works for a little while, and then people forget. And then I have to call a police officer out there and ask them to write a summons or a ticket or whatever the case may be. Same thing with snow removal. Where are you going to park for the snow? Because then it becomes difficult to get to. With the islands out, you'll be able to change the way you park. You have more room in there because that island's not going to be there. In regards to the extra work in filling it, it's all being done in-house. Public Works can do it in-house. Now,
Postal. What happens with Postal?
Postal can still get there.
Right now, I'm sorry, Mayor.
Let me finish. I'm going to open back up. I told everybody I would give you a response. Blackwood Clemington Road with the traffic signal. I can't go into a traffic signal because you're talking about it's a county road, first off. The county won't put a signal there. We begged them to do that when they redid the reconstruction on it, and they refused to do it. The traffic signal itself in that area there would be over $1 million. The one we're looking at on the United States Avenue, getting the state to pay it is, it's 600 and something thousand just to, and the state would pay a quarter of it. Yeah, you can go to a county meeting and bring it up to the county. It's a county road. It's not something that, we have the authority to go out and say without getting their approvals.
And if you visit the CamdenCounty.com website, you'll see the schedule for the commissioners' meetings on there.
The stop parking sign, I'm going to have a meeting with the chief.
I already have one at 9 o'clock.
Tomorrow morning. He's going to bring that up about the parking of the school. We have the same issue here up at school 4 too.
All the schools have the same issue.
We have school 40 park on the side of the street.
Yes. And for the speeding, I'm going to have that meeting with him, make sure we get the speed, we'll get the speed sign out there, and push the speed sign, that does slow traffic down for a bit, and then it starts up again, and then we have to go back out and do it again. We do it all over town. But this one.
Patching of the road, patching and repatching.
Well, patching and repatching, like I said, we do it in-house, and it gets done, it's not done unprofessional, it's done professionally. There's things that you put around it, there's a hole that goes in there that adheres the asphalt to that new section of the road, so it'll be like fresh pavement. But the thing is, without that island there, you're going to get more park. You are going to get more parking.
You don't understand. You don't know. You don't know.
You get 2 cars in now. You need to tell me that. You can't get 6 cars.
You get 6 cars there.
6 cars.
6 cars. And they're 21 years, 6 cars.
Way good.
Yeah, that's true.
You haven't been back there recently. You
cannot
Then
compare.
you know you're getting more than 2 cars.
Not the first cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac don't have an island in it.
You're talking about the first cul-de-sac, which is Pinehurst.
The one with-
There's three cul-de-sacs.
The one with the car that's sitting there, right?
No. What, no?
The Camaro that's
The
sitting
Camaro,
there.
that's in my driveway right now, thank you. And that's the one that has six cars. I haven't been there in a while. That's mine, that's in my driveway. But that one, you are correct. Excuse me? It's my first car, it's in my driveway.
You get 6 cars there.
Yes.
There's 6 cars on those islands.
6 cars on that
Well,
island.
when the Camaro was, there was no room for a car in front of
We
it.
have to push it back so we can fit the minutes. Actually, that is my own.
The cul-de-sac has less than 4 feet of
All right,
curb
let me
running around it.
do this. I'm gonna go back out to the public works again, and the engineer, and I'm going to.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
Take the signs down and we can park there and you can
Give
see
me-
how
give
many
me
cars
your
can
available-
park.
I
I
promise
promise
The parking, the no parking signs, just so you are aware of this, they're not enforceable. So, at present time, those aren't. We didn't go through, they didn't go through us, it had, went through public works. If anybody gets a ticket on their car for parking there, just let us know, okay?
Thank you.
But,
No, they legally put
Why are we doing something illegal?
It's not illegal.
it's not illegal to put them there. They put it there as an example. And like I said, I didn't know about any of this before it happened. I knew about it after it happened, and that's when I took action to make sure he got a letter for what he wanted to do. He explained the situation to me. I would appreciate it if you guys start right now with not parking there on trash day.
Yes.
Or snow days.
We haven't been.
We're expecting snow this weekend.
Oh, we are?
Yes. You're expecting At the 75, yes.
How new are these trucks? Because I've been there for 5 years.
2 years.
2 years. So, when has it been an issue? It seems like the drivers need to be trained how to drive around the cul-de-sac.
They are trained.
Because he still can't get around with no cars there. He still can't.
Yeah, it's still
He still can't get around with no cars there.
We own the cars. And we actually went out with our own snow blowers that help the plows, and they still.
These are the reasons why they want the islands removed.
But removing our island will only leave one straight path where you will only be able to pull in.
And he still won't be able to get.
You will not be able to.
That's right, he won't be able to turn.
I'm sorry, and the other issue maybe is that our postal service,
That's fine.
our postal service, if we're curbside delivery, we can't even put our trash cans out there without getting the little nasty postal postcard that states, if you block your mailbox, we will not deliver your mail.
Everyone will park in
So
front of our
we
mailbox.
don't mind compromising and moving from a parallel parking to a vertical. We would love that. But our postal system, we can tell you now, that's gonna be an issue with them. We won't be getting our mail.
Well,
All the mailboxes will be
we can
blocked.
talk to the postal service too, because my mail gets delivered to my door.
They will,
We can talk to the postman, make them aware of the situation, and then it's going to be parallel parking, and it's straight parking. I can't tell you how to park, that I cannot do, so, but
There's no room to parallel park.
right.
And in a straight parking,
No
the
parking
trash
there.
truck will not be able, he can't make it now. With no cars. You guys put the signs up, there's no cars, you still can't make it.
You're gonna have to videotape.
I'll video it. I'll video it.
we'll be getting the engineer in the next couple of days, all right?
Yeah, the engineers.
And we'll take a look at it and see how it can be done.
I have that issue because the way the development, because I've been there since it was built, but the way the development was, they took the two mailboxes, put them together in the middle of each house, you know, so they're like this.
Right.
So the postman, when it comes up, it wants to be able to handle these two mailboxes. Well, that leaves all this space where you can't park because that's a whole space where a car could be, but they don't want it. So I called the post office and said, look, I want to put my mailbox on the side of my driveway and my neighbor on the other side of the driveway, which left this wider space open. And they said, okay. Yeah.
But it doesn't work for somebody that's on a
Oh,
curb.
no,
like me.
no,
You can't move it.
at all.
You can't move it.
Just so you know, I'm in a smaller cul-de-sac also, so 5 Pinehurst Court, so that's
There's no, we had forces, so we really small cul-de-sac, we can't, we don't see any issue with that, any remedy by taking out.
Well, that's what we have engineers for.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't do a good job when they constructed it. So.
I have your phone number, so
Yes.
what I will do is I will get back to you when we give you the engineer, and
Thank
have
you.
time to review it, probably sometime by the beginning of next month.
Fabulous, I appreciate it.
And like I said, I've asked if you can, don't park there during trash.
Absolutely.
No problem.
For now,
Yes,
until we can come up with some sort of solution, I will take it up with Public Works and let them know.
I appreciate it.
Um,
We all appreciate it.
and
You said it's not or not.
And I'll also reach out to the post office and see if they can.
Thank you.
I will have to take this. We'll have to take, I'll have to take the sign.
Thank you.
Just so it's all.
I wish that when you decide you're gonna do something, I understand that trucks are amenable, that gets rid of a person, and if the truck, throw the trash in there.
For the pool people.
Oh, okay. But my point is this, because of the way the development was developed, now you got everybody's trash can in the freaking front of their house. Who wants their trash can in the front of the house? What do you mean?
We attempted.
Because you can't, because some sides are too tight.
We attempted,
You can't get it in the backyard?
Right.
we attempted in certain developments to put dumpsters in there. People wanted dumpsters instead. And now they're trying to run.
No, we get rid of
I'm not only there, if you guys, that's the only other.
I'm just saying, if some forethought would be given before some things are done, it creates a problem for us.
I say put a helper on the truck. Put a helper on the
Unfortunately, you know
truck.
you know as well as I do, what tragedies have been back there because of those developers. You know how they came in and they did what they did and then took off.
Yeah, they went bankrupt.
Yes.
Right.
So
So that was into that.
Things are done a little differently now with the new general land use board and stuff. It's not the same.
Mayor Roach, is it true that what Hans had said and the gentleman from the Public Works, is it serious that they're contemplating going one-sided in Crossing Way?
No. And they're not
I don't know how that
authorized to
came
say
from.
that.
And they're not authorized to say
Right, they're not
that.
authorized to say that.
Okay. Because, I mean, then we're parking on,
Only thing that's being brought up here is those islands. That's it.
okay.
Hopefully it will be better, but we're going to look at it. Anyone else now?
Thank you.
Sir?
I'm a truck driver. I've brought my truck in there before when I'm in the area and I want to stop and get something to eat, something like that. I don't have no problem turning around in there. My truck is just as big as those trash trucks. I do this for a living. I'm in and out of Philadelphia. I'm in and out of Camden, this whole area. And if that driver can't get in there,
You don't know how to drive.
then exactly, he doesn't know how to drive. Now, he's not going to be able to get in there and make one clean loop. That's not going to happen. But if he can pull in forward one way, right, get those trash cans on that side, then he's going to have to back out and then back into the other side.
We just have to work.
It's not hard to do.
I understand that. And I don't know what size truck we drive because I drove trucks too for many years. I drove tractor trailers, Class A.
If it has wheels, I can drive.
Me too. And I appreciate that. But with those big karate cans on the front of those trucks, it becomes very dangerous, and I've seen them take out cars without batting an eye. And it's
Right.
not-
Well, that's where the
not
compromise
something-
comes into play.
Not something that we want to see.
But that's where the compromise comes in.
Exactly.
Well, Mayor, right now, you guys have somebody goes out a pickup truck and checks each and every single trash can, right? So why not have that person with the driver and then help the trash can out if they can't get in there? It's just like you pay two people to do like the same job.
That person.
And then they
just
drop
checks-
them, you're
that-
listening.
That person just checks recycling.
Pardon me?
That person does the recycling for the whole town. He goes around and checks all of the days for the whole community.
Okay, but I mean, if he's doing recycle, he could just check, the trash can is right next to the recycle. All you gotta do is pull the lids.
And he's leaving trash on the ground.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It lifts and every debris falls, he just leaves it.
But he's not gonna get out.
So he's doing a cleanup.
It's not what we here for.
It is, it's part of the purpose. It's part of the purpose.
That you can reach out to Public Works and tell them about, because we do it in my neighborhood too, and
I
I
get
get
to, and I have to pick up trash too, just like everybody else.
It It's been extremely windy the last
The
week.
same guy picking up your trash?
There's a spot in Lindenwold.
Nobody.
We-
So then it's, so somebody has to address it.
Then we would clean the area around there.
Just-
They don't clean any of it, they only clean certain houses.
I'll take the picture.
Give me a month or so to deal with this with the engineer and public works director, and I'll get back to you, and you can let everybody know what's going on.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Thank you.
My name is Zakia,
Yes.
and I live at 138 Crossing Lane.
Yes, ma'am.
My question is, when decisions are made like this that affect the whole neighborhood, it does affect the people that live in the cul-de-sac more, but it actually affects the whole neighborhood, the whole development. Why aren't we given a public hearing where we can voice our opinion of making this decision of yay or nay, instead of just doing it and we have to rush out to see about it afterwards?
And I apologize for that, didn't I? I apologize for that.
You apologize because you got the letter out too.
No, I apologize because we
Who
weren't
made the
notified.
decision to put the signs up?
Sometimes it's in the best interest of the community, and things get done. It's not, I mean.
There was no other developer. He made
Somebody
it
had to make
down
a decision. Somebody made a decision. They have the authority to put those signs up. It just doesn't happen out of the clear blue sky for somebody saying,
And
I think I'll put signs up.
ma'am, I apologize for that. I told them they should not have done it without going through us first, and they did.
And then you
They
should
got
not have
reprimanded,
made the
they got
decision.
reprimanded for it.
You guys should not have made the decision without coming to us first, because it does affect us. And these are things that make the quality of our life less than what it should be.
Well, I don't think that was the goal, ma'am. I think the goal was to make it safer for you guys.
That may not have been
Okay,
the
well,
goal.
hear me out, please, Miss Akita?
Yes.
Okay, hear me out, please, and then I'll listen to what you have to say. That certainly was not the goal. And I think one thing we've all learned from this is a better way to go about this the next time, okay? We're not perfect. No one in this room is. I only know one person that's perfect in this world. So, we're not perfect. And this is how we learn from each other, right? You guys come out, you tell us something. This is the first time I'm seeing a letter, the first time that we're hearing about some of these things. So give us a chance to resolve it. We'll get the engineer out there. We'll certainly talk to you. Once we come up with the engineer's recommendation for the area, you guys will certainly be included in that conversation. So we're not perfect, by no stretch of the imagination. But please give us the opportunity to resolve it, and you will be incorporated in whatever decision that we make. Okay?
Does that mean in the future?
Like I said, we learned from this situation.
Right, but this situation,
Right.
but any situation.
Well, that's the situation, going forward, ma'am. That's, going forward. I mean, this is not the first time we dealt with things like this. You're not the first street that we've had parking issues with, or trash can issues with, and they've been incorporated into the conversation. And it usually kind of starts like this because we've got new trash cans. Things are a little bit different. The trash trucks are larger. So we've had to make adjustments for things. So we apologize. Again, we're not perfect. We'll work through this, and hopefully we'll come up with something that works out for you guys and also works out for our drivers and the safety of your community. Okay, but nothing was meant to be harmful towards you or ignore you. That was not the intention of that when it was sent out. So please accept our apology.
We certainly do accept your apology, and we want to work together as a community. Absolutely. We definitely appreciate everything that you do. We've lived here 20-plus years, and I've seen the difference between the schools, the roads, the signs. Goodness knows I would never want to be a person working in the public sector and not in your shoes. Learned a lot tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
However, I would like to be more of a community. And by that, I mean just better communication. And I think that's what
our friend here is trying to say, that in the future, you will definitely notify us and communicate your intent so that we can speak together as a community and get to a resolution together.
And while we're here, who is in control of cutting back the trees that are hanging over into the street?
Depends on what street
It
it's
depends
on.
on-
Crossings Way.
If it's on your property, you will.
You are. Even, oh, so I thought so because the big trucks have to come down, that the county handles them once they go up high, like they do on Spring Garden. When they come in, they cut them back from the wires and all.
That's the electric company.
That's funding. Yeah, that's funding.
On your property, you are responsible.
Okay.
Well, they cut our tree, remember?
I'm sorry.
Is there wires out for the trees?
No, we don't have wires. Our wires are underground. Yeah, our wires are underground.
It's Public Works that does that.
All right, at this time, I'm going to close meeting to the public and entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
And a second. All in favor?